Once again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith for another go-around. We'll watch the Brooklyn Nets in this one as they go up against the Chicago Bulls. For Chicago, they got their season rolling with a nice win in their first game. Now we'll find out if they can build on it and open with back-to-back victories. And the clock ticking down to tip off. Kenny, you won 2 championships, might I remind you, back-to-back. Explain to us the makeup of a champion.
Well,
and not the makeup you're wearing right now,
I never
but the makeup of a championship team.
However, number one is the belief. You have to believe and trust in your teammates. Trust is the most important thing. And most people think trust comes from on the offensive end, but it's trust on the defensive end. Meaning, Ernie, if I'm going to send you baseline, I said that's the game plan. I have to trust that my teammate's going to be there. And I'm going to do it regardless if he misses his assignment 1 or 2 times. That's the trust you have to have.
Ernie, you know why I like drinking Shaq Fu Punch?
Why?
Because it's about finding the right mix. So in basketball terms, it's about coaches, star role players. Everything has to be working together. That's why these guys can be great.
I can't believe that you just promoted one of your products into discussion of what it takes to become a champion in the NBA.
I wasn't really promoting. I was just giving you a Shaqnology.
That's his 12th promotion. I'm going to start promoting things.
I'm not promoting the Shaqnologies. You know what? I won't say nothing else about myself or any product I'm endorsing. Man up, you two.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of proud
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season. They were dominated last year, not a good matchup for them, going 1-3 in the season series.
And this, the first of 3 games these two teams will play against one another this season.
Yeah, you know, these are 2 rival teams that will see each other a fair amount this season. We'll see which team can tip it off with a win.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. Taking a look at the Bulls. At the 4, it's Gasol with Noah at the 5. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. And it's Dunleavy in at the small forward. So the Chicago Bulls able to put up the first points on the board. Jack passes to Johnson. Clock at 6. From 12 feet out. Offensive rebound. Here's Lopez, and Gasol sends it back. And here are the Bulls now. It's a 3-point game. Coming into this, having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
And, guys, that was their night. I mean, it seemed like everything they shot went in.
It happens that way sometimes, guys. It was just one of those games where the hot shooting of a couple of players became contagious, and nobody was stoppable.
So many people overlook Pau Gasol prior to last season, seem to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
First quarter, about a minute and a half in. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Jack against Rose. And Jack kicks to Young. That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
Shot clock at 6. It's Brown on the wing. Defended by Dunleavy. And it's Brown missing.
Boy, after the first 3 misses, I thought they'd get one here, but they still can't connect.
And with the skill set that Powell has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact.
Now here's Johnson. There's the pick. Back to Lopez. Using his post moves to get the 2 points.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
Back to Rose. Brown against Butler. He feeds it to Dunleavy. It's deflected. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. Brown with it, and Rose picks him up defensively. Young, a screen on Rose. Lopez, a screen. Feeds it to Jack. Shot off the screen. The shot is off. Nice D from Rose. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, and understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, take it himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like D. Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have maximized that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play well.
Now here is Jack. Young outside. Johnson against Butler. Johnson dishes to Young. But they'll get another chance. And Gasol sends it back. Dunleavy for 3. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Dunleavy's got 6 points.
A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Jack against Rose. Outside Jack. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. Brooklyn shooting their first free throw of the evening.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
And the technical free throw is good. You have to love the newest stadium in the NBA here at Barclays. Very state-of-the-art, outstanding facility.
Yeah, the Nets have a nice home here. I bet they wish they were stronger here at home. Finished under 500 last season with a record of 19-22.
The Bulls leading by 6. Rose passes to Gasol. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Well played right there. I mean, there's no question who has the momentum.
Greg, the lead appears to be heading north, if you will.
Brooklyn with the ball.
And you know, guys, that 19-22 record here in Brooklyn certainly a stain for the Nets. I mean, they would be the only team to make the playoffs in the NBA last year with a losing record at home.
Now here's Johnson. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Yeah, it's just a smart shot, taking advantage of the mismatch.
Well, with a stroke like that and the height advantage as well, the mid-range J is almost a gimme.
Noah against Lopez. Noah's shot is off.
And with the Nets' struggles at home last season, they were simply outshot in this building. Also, they were the second worst in rebound differential at home, meaning they got killed on the glass here.
No good from Jack.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And there's the pass to Butler. Pass to Gasol. Over to the left wing. And Dunleavy gets it to go in. Dunleavy's got 8 points.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Rose against Jack. Joe Johnson on the wing. Lopez sets a screen for Johnson. Connects from three-point range. Johnson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Bulls leading by 5. Rose kicks to Butler. Unloads from 13. And it's Chicago scoring again.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him. Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season, won the Most Improved Player of the Year award, really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
Now here is Jack. Young outside. Good, and Jack gets the assist.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
Rose goes in, and that one is stuffed right through.
And what a beautiful way to polish off that sequence. Just strong at attacking the rim.
That just puts a little more momentum on their side, don't you think?
Absolutely.
The defense got to tighten up now. I mean, you can't have the opposing point guard throwing down on you like that.
Now here is Jack. It's stolen by Rose. Butler against Lopez. Offensive rebound. Noah. Another shot. Jimmy Butler once again. And now it's a 9-point Chicago lead.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Johnson down low, defended by Butler. Young with no one around. Offline with his 3. Jack against Rose. Inside, here's Noah. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
This is not the slam dunk contest. You don't get do-overs. You got to finish the job.
And that's just a great individual play right through the teeth of the defense.
Chicago leading by 7. Outside Rose. And good as it rattles through the hoop. Rose has got his second bucket tonight. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Inside, here's Young, and Gasol sends it back. They shoot again. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. And it's Butler missing.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
Young, right side. Outside Jack. Screen by Young. 5 to shoot. Kicks it to Johnson. Connects on the 17-footer. Johnson's got 5 now.
And sometimes you just can't get around your defender there. You got to hit him with that high top fade. And really, the Bulls weathered a lot of injuries last season and still had a good showing in the East. Came away with the 3 seed when many thought they would sink down after missing so many games from key players.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Bargnani has checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for Young. And Ellington is subbed in for Brown. The Bulls also changing it up. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Mike Dunleavy. And Brooks subbed in for Rose. Chicago leading by 7. Brooks dishes to Butler. That drops and it comes off an assist from Brooks. 8 points for Butler.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Jack passes to Ellington. And the baseline jumper, no good.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And, you know, time will tell how big a factor that becomes in this game, guys. But if you're the coaching staff, it's certainly a point of emphasis.
Here's Jack after the basket by Nikola Mirotic. And Jack, here we go. Softly drops in the floater.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
Now here's Brooks. Pass to Gibson. Butler kicks to Gasol. Deep 2 from Brooks. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Nets trail by 9. Johnson outside. And Jack, here we go. And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
Yeah, no doubt about that one with the over-the-back call.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to take him for a ride right there. Easy call.
The Nets making a switch here. Bogdanovich is checked in. And the Bulls making a change also. Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. The Bulls leading by 9. The drive by Brooks. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. He dishes it to Gibson. From the top of the key. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. And the Bulls lead by 11. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Ellington dishes to Jack. To the paint. Gasol with the steal. Now here's Heinrich. Ellington defending, and Heinrich gets it to go down on the assist from Gibson.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And so here is Chicago, 13-point lead. Brooks, the pass to Gibson. Here's Mirotic. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
They're allowing a sky-high field goal percentage. That won't get it.
Not at all, Clark. You rarely see a team surrender points this easily. They have got to do better.
Now here is Jack. The pass to Robinson. To halt the run. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
You know, he's always thinking. That's what I like about him. Spotted the open man and immediately changed out of his shot and gave it up.
And Mirotic has it in the corner. Back to Brooks. And out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Nets trail by 14, and Jack kicks to Bogdanovich. Bargnani dishes to Ellington. Passes it to Jack. There's 25 seconds left to play in the first. And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That's his first foul.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was 1 step late that time, Greg.
Here's Bargnani, looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Bogdanovich, and he lays it straight in.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
They're losing their concentration here, guys. Some sloppy play going on right now.
Yeah, 2 turnovers in a row, and that's always a recipe for disaster.
Stolen by Brooks. Out to the right wing. 3-pointer, Heinrich. Mirotic, the pass to Gibson. Brooks outside. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Here's Gibson, and it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And indeed, they're going to look at it again. They need to be certain he beat the buzzer.
And to me, guys, it looks pretty clear-cut on the instant replay. I mean, the ball was out of his hands in time. I think they'll confirm this one pretty quickly.
Well, I can't see how they'd come to any other conclusion. I mean, we have a good look at it on the replay. The clock's still ticking when it left his fingertips.
Basket's good.
And they've overturned the call. The replay was conclusive, and that one's going to count.
And Kevin, an example of why it's good to have replay. I don't know what kind of impact it'll have on the final result, but you always want them to get every call right.
The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Bulls lead by 14. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened in NBA history. Pau talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark. Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way two of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become two of the best centers in the NBA of this era.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers, who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Bulls.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnovers.
They've got Young, Bogdanovich out there with Brown. Then it's Brook Lopez, and it's Bargnani in at the four-man position. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter. Nets were the hottest team and story a few years back, certainly, but last season they were put up for sale. Surprisingly to some, Clark, midway through the year.
Yeah, that was odd timing given the new arena and rebranding. I mean, you would think after all that effort to rebuild the team, you would see it through.
Both good from the line that time.
And for the Nets being put up for sale, a big part of it was they were a team that was supposed to compete for titles. And since the move to Brooklyn, they have had trouble going deep in the playoffs.
And it's Brook Lopez with the foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Johnson, he's checked in for Brooklyn.
Joe Johnson.
Dunleavy kicks to Heinrich. Rose against Brown. Shot clock at 6. And it's Rose missing.
And you know, with Brooklyn, I don't think anybody wants to take over a team in a rebuild mode. I mean, that's what the Nets seem to be looking at for the next few seasons. They had their shot, went all in with some of their decisions, unfortunately came up short.
A 3-ball. Rose can't get that one to fall. Here we go, one-on-one. Johnson dishes to Brown. Basket is good, the assist from Johnson. Brown's got his second bucket.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
And out of bounds as Brooklyn gains possession. Block shots, a stat that sometimes doesn't tell the whole story. Big-time shot blockers aren't always elite defenders. And then the opposite is true. Their block shot totals don't quite capture that great impact they really have defensively.
You know, and Akeem the Dream, certainly one of the greatest all-around players to have ever played the game. An endless array of offensive moves down low, no doubt. And defensively, his numbers speak for themselves. I mean, almost 4,000 career blocks, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, just a legendary low-post defender.
For Brooklyn, they have made 3 free throws so far, haven't missed any.
One shot.
For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
And with Thibs, he did end up getting fired from the Bulls this past season. Some saw it coming, but still, I think surprising given the level of success he had. His imprint is all over this Bulls team in the way they approach the game.
That's good from Brook Lopez.
And when you look at how Thibs got fired, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why a coach can be let go. I mean, he didn't have any performance issues, but apparently clashed in some form or fashion with the front office. Sometimes that's all it takes to be asked to go somewhere else.
Both free throws good from Lopez.
And last season, the Nets made sure nobody went off against them. They would lose games, but they did a great job of limiting an opposing star from taking over.
Good ball movement here by the Bulls. The shot by Butler, nobody around, but they get it back. Rose in the post. He's covered by Brown. That savvy little up fake there, fooling the D.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
Well, as you mentioned with the Nets, they limited takeover games, set an NBA record, in fact, Clark, by allowing the fewest 30-point scores against them.
Yeah, you know, only Harden and Lillard were able to get 30 points against the Nets. As you said, the first team to allow so few in a complete NBA season. Going back to 99, the strike-shortened season, the Knicks did it as well.
Butler from outside. Rebounded by the Nets. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. And Bogdanović kicks to Johnson. No good. Great D that time from Gibson. A solo fast break. There's the dish to Noah. Outside Rose. And he slams it one-handed.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. And for most of his career, Taj Gibson has been a tremendous role player up front. GA, he's been extremely steady over 6 full seasons.
And Kevin, he gives you a lot of energy and athleticism when he enters the game. He's got the great length with that 7'4" wingspan. But to me, it's not just about having it. It's about the fact that he utilizes it. And it really allows him to get in there and attack the backboard and contest shots.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Butler against Johnson. Now the feed to Brown. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Brown's got 4 points in the quarter.
Yeah, you know, talking about Gibson, he started 70 games his first year and made the all-rookie team. But thereafter, had been mostly a 6-man off the bench through last season. It happens, but it's still somewhat unusual for a guy to go backwards like that.
And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. It's on Thaddeus Young.
And talking about Gibson, if he ever wants to be seen as a high-level starter, he needs to work on a few things. More bankable moves in the post. More fluid post game, if you will. And really increased strength and consistency. I think those things will carry him to that starting 5.
You know, guys, Taj Gibson now is 6 full seasons in the NBA. Already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, you know, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
Butler attacking. Here's Rose. The rebound by Young. Nets trail by 11. Bogdanovich passes to Young. Off target on the 15-footer. Chicago has gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. For 3, Dunleavy. The shot is off, so Brooklyn will take it the other way. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Johnson outside. Lets it go from deep. Here's Bogdanovich, and that one goes in as he is fouled. It will be 3 points if he converts at the line.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
He's made all 3 of his free throws so far. And the free throw, no good.
You know, even though they're behind, I love the job they've been doing getting to the free throw line.
We always like it when you're aggressive and not settling.
Butler goes in. Outside Rose. Just 5 to shoot. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there, and most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions, and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
Chicago calls timeout.
And I feel like there's a reason Joe Johnson has gotten a number of astronomical contracts. It's because he does everything for you. He's like one of those items you buy that touts everything you need, nothing you don't. Well, to me, that's Joe Johnson.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Screen by Young. Johnson kicks to Lopez.
A brief check now of the stats for Jimmy Butler. He's coming off an excellent season. He put up about 20 points per game last season, 6 rebounds and 3 assists. And he leads the way for them in the scoring department.
Always looking for a crease in the defense, poking, prodding, and manufacturing points.
The Nets have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. And he knocks down the first one. Jarrett Jack is checked in for Bogdanovich. And a change for the Bulls. Gasol's checked in. Second free throw, no good. The Bulls leading by 10. Rose with the ball. And Young picks him up defensively. Gasol goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And, Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And Jack, here we go. From 12 feet out, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
How can you stop that? With the crossover that quick, that lightning quick, a defender has to be almost superhuman to stay in front of that.
Here's Butler. And it's Johnson with the rebound. Johnson's got 3 rebounds now in this one. You know what? Some solid defense from Rose.
He's lost it in this quarter, no doubt about it. Nothing seems to be going for him. Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Screen by Young. Johnson goes in. And a great assist by Jack as that one goes in. Jack's got 3 assists tonight.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen. Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist.
Here's Brown, and a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Boy, I love the great assist that time by Jack.
The Bulls leading by 10. Rose goes in. Brooklyn with the rebound. Johnson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Johnson missing again.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Rose dishes to Gibson. Deflects the pass and taken away by Brown. And here we go. Rose with the block. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession.
A chance here now to see how the Nets ranked in the NBA last season. 10th in fewest turnovers per game. 16th in shooting percentage. And for lowest opponent scoring per game, they've got some work to do there.
And in terms of turnovers, I think the good ball handling and smart passes were really a key. Not a gaudy ranking, but no question, being in that top 10 helped them offensively. He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
Butler with the steal. And here's the fast break. And he elevates with a slam dunk, and Brook Lopez did not like that.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. And Jack, here we go. No good there off the double clutch.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
The Bulls have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight. And he can't get the first one.
Another trip to the stripe for him, and I tell you what, a little bit of a different feel here in the second quarter. A little more banging going on.
Man, and it's really served them well. Seeking out the contact you mentioned and putting pressure on the defense.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Margnani is checked in for Lopez. Robinson comes in for Thaddeus Young. And Ellington is subbed in for Brown. Bulls have had a great rebounding team for a long time now. Last season was no different.
Yeah, so many categories to measure how well a team rebounds. The Bulls were in the top 3 in almost all of them. And chalk up a few more points for them there. This has been a one-sided game in just about every area.
Absolutely. I echo that sentiment. Their offense, their defense, I mean, it's all been terrific. As for the Bulls and rebounding, I mean, they were second in the league in winning contested rebounds. That's another data analytics stat for you folks. Second overall in total rebounds, too.
Chicago on defense. 17-point lead, their biggest.
And with the big men the Bulls have, it's easy to see why they rebound so well. But make no mistake, guards and bigs alike rebound well on this Bulls team.
They get it again. Gasol kicks to Heinrich. Brooks, the pass to Mirotic. Second shot opportunity, and that's 2 points on the layup. Mirotic has got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, if you're going to give them layups, there's no way you're going to get back in this game.
Jack dishes to Robinson. Good, and Jack gets the assist. Jack's got 5 assists in the game.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
And he converts the layup. 6 points here for Taj Gibson.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Here's Jack. Kicks it out to Johnson. Three-pointer. The rebound by Gibson. Gibson's got his 6th rebound on the night.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
From deep, Brooks. Brooklyn with the rebound. Johnson's got his 5th rebound in this one. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. Nets were pretty far back from relevance at times last season, as we saw. It took a late season hot streak for them, Greg, to get into the playoff picture.
Yeah, and that was a neck-and-neck race with the Pacers right till the very end. Not exactly what they had in mind at the start of the season, but they did pull through.
Here is Ellington. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Jack, here we go. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense.
And, you know, for the Nets, they ended up being bounced out of the first round, fell to the #1 seed Hawks. They put up a good fight against Atlanta and made the series interesting, but still came up short.
And he banks in the layup. Jack's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second. And for the Nets in the postseason, they did have a good showing despite that early exit. Many people expected the Hawks to sweep, but they took them to 6 games and capped what was an interesting year for Brooklyn overall.
He kicks to Johnson. Dishes it to Bargnani. And the shot is good. Bargnani's got his first bucket in this one.
That was a nice finish to an excellent possession.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. The shot by Heinrich no good. Nets trail by 13. Right side Jack. He feeds it to Bargnani, and it's a defensive 3-second violation. The Nets have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line. And so he hits the technical free throw. Robinson left side, and no good trying to get that one. And that does it for the first half of play. It's Chicago. They lead by 12. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, I have Derrick Rose. And Derrick, you guys were scoring pretty nicely as a unit here tonight. How do you facilitate that?
Just be more efficient. I'm taking less shots, making sure that I make my shots and take my time on the offensive end and get people involved in the game.
Thank you, Derrick. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the 3rd quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Big-time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He had 16 points, 2 steals, and 1 assist. The first 2 quarters went very well for him. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Bulls?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Brooklyn?
Their lack of execution surprised me. You know, they had a lot of turnovers off sloppy ball handling, which goes back to the fundamentals. And I know we say it all the time, just make the simple play. And this is why. Without giving away possessions, they'd be a lot closer in this game.
And that'll wrap up our halftime show. The third quarter set to go moments from now. We will be right back here after the game.
And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
Just in attack mode, he was able to get in the lane at will in that first half.
Yeah, it really was aggressive attacking basketball at its finest. I mean, really a lot of fun to watch.
Nets trail by 12. Tipping off the second half. Here's Fred Hoiberg's 5. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. At the 4, it's Gasol with Noah at the 5. And it's Dunleavy in at the small forward position. The shot by Johnson, no good.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
With Joakim Noah, I mean, you know exactly what he's going to give you every season. Rebounding, block shots, steals a few points, relentless energy and enthusiasm, and even a few assists as well.
And Jack, here we go. Lopez. And a great assist by Jack as that one goes in. 9 points for Brook Lopez. Rose against Jack. Here's Gasol, and it's sent back by Lopez. Johnson, the pass to Jack. Round down low. He's up against Gasol. And the dunk by Lopez.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Rose, no good.
They have yet to hit a shot. A real slow start here in the second half.
Tipped away. Butler with the steal. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. Brooklyn with the rebound. Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the third quarter. The shot by Johnson, no good.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Outside Rose. Right side Gasol. From 11 feet away. And again, Chicago, no good. Nets trail by 8. Young in the corner. Brown outside. Jack up on top. He's covered by Rose. 6 on the shot clock. Young. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. From the arc. Another miss by Young. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls Clark had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, a two-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball require.
Butler with the ball, and it's Johnson picking him up. Dunleavy kicks it to Noah. Puts up the baby hook. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Brook Lopez. And last year, not exactly up to Noah's lofty standards. was way down in field goal percentage and free throw percentages compared to the season before, but he did not play completely healthy all of last year either.
A little dinged up, missed 13 games more than he had the season prior, and also the minutes dropped as well. And you could just see him laboring at times on the floor, clearly affected by those injuries.
That misses, so he splits the free throws.
And, you know, going back to Noah last season, I think the additions to the Bulls' front court had an effect on him. I mean, they added Gasol and Mirotic, two major talents up front. I think that gave Noah less opportunities than he'd had the year before, and it was an adjustment for him.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, as they're looking to battle back, that's one of the key elements. You got to rebound.
It's stolen by Johnson. And here's the fast break. Brown with it. Butler covering. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
Clearly a mental lapse and at an inopportune time.
Yeah, that's a terrible mistake, Greg, to make it any time. But it's really exacerbated when you make it at this time.
Chicago making a switch here. Gibson's checked in to the middle. Here's Butler. The shot is off. Some solid defense from Brown.
And guys, talking about Joakim Noah, he was still the spirit of that team last season. Amongst all the great talents the Bulls had, Noah was that energizer and catalyst for the team. A true warrior, even in an off year.
Poked away. Johnson with it. He's got 9. Lopez, a screen on Gibson, and it's Johnson penetrating to stop the drought. Noah with the block. So it looks like the Nets will retain possession here. Johnson the screen. 6 to shoot. With the shot. They get the rebound. And it will go, and the Bulls' lead is cut to just 11 points in the basket from Brown.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. He made it look easy that time. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Feeds it to Lopez. Screened by Young. Jack dishes to Young. And Gibson sends it back. Here's Butler. Jack with the defensive effort.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for him.
Johnson, wide open, he fires. So for the Nets, Bargnani has checked in for Johnson, and Ellington is subbed in for Markel Brown. Chicago also making some changes. Mirotic comes in for Mike Dunleavy, and Brooks subbed in for Rose. Jack passes to Lopez. Good, and Jack gets the assist. And it's 13 points for Brook Lopez.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Shots good by Gibson.
Now that's where you like your shots to come from.
Nets trail by 13. And Jack kicks to Ellington to the left wing. And again, it's Brook Lopez. Lopez has got 8 points here in this quarter.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
The Bulls shooting one of the high points for them in this game at 54%. Brooks outside. Sinks the three-pointer. And the Bulls lead by 14.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
Ellington dishes to Jack. Lopez a screen on Brooks. Lopez a screen on its way from Young for 2. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Young's got his second bucket of the night. The Bulls leading by 12. Brooks with it. Now Jack defending. It's Noah with the drive. And he gets the bucket. And that's 12 points for Nikola Mirotic.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
Brooks against Jack. Over to the left wing. Ellington the pass to Lopez. Tries again. It's rebounded by Noah.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Butler and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Now we get a chance to check out Thaddeus Young. Last season's performance for him averaged about 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
That free throw good from Butler.
Complete domination. What a game for Butler. 19 points and also 3 steals. Whether it's making the tough pass or coming up with the steal, he's been able to do it.
You're right on with that. He's had a great feel, really, for his teammates as well as the opponent.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Thomas Robinson comes in for Brook Lopez. And it's Bogdanovich in for Thaddeus Young. The pass to Ellington. Looks for Bargnani, gets it to him. Off target from the baseline. The Bulls leading by 16. To the inside. The open shot, Butler, and he didn't get quite enough under that one.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Jack against Brooks. The shot from 20 feet away. No good from Jack.
Guys, the Bulls defense was as stout as ever last season. A big part of that is they have guys that challenge you inside and at the rim. Even off the bench, all of their bigs are mobile and protect the basket.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Talking about the Bulls and their rim protection, they have the lowest opponent field goal percentage on shots right at the rim.
Yeah, and it helps when you compare 7-footers down low. It's not just the bigs, though. Even their perimeter players will track back and challenge at the rim. Really a total team effort.
And that one falls for Heinrich.
And guys, Kirk Heinrich, a steady, reliable point guard, but not last season. Something went severely wrong with his shot to the point where he suffered career low shooting percentages from the field and from three-point.
And that one goes in, 2 from the line that time. Talking about Heinrich, the one thing you expect from him is consistency. But when he couldn't provide it last year, the team turned to a different backup point guard.
Exactly right, Kevin. Heinrich couldn't have felt good about becoming a third stringer, averaging the fewest minutes per game of his career last season.
That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Heinrich's got 4 points in the quarter. Nets trail by 20. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
The offensive rebound. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
Boy, their passing has been picturesque, a thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've gotten out in the transition.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Picked by Bargnani. Pass to Bogdanovich. Just 5 on the clock. 3-pointer. That's good. Bogdanovich has got 10 points.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular spot.
And finished off by Mirotic.
fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
Ellington kicks to Jack, picked by Bargnani. Brooks against Jack, off the pick, and it's Brooklyn scoring again.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
Chicago leading by 17. And Butler, here we go. Offensive rebound. Here's Mirotic. Kicks it to Noah. From outside the arc. And Heinrich gets it to go down on the assist by Noah. Heinrich's got 11.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Pass to Bargnani. Good.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Chicago calls timeout.
Guys, Bargnani was compared to several other international players when he came out. Some said he was Nowitzki. Others thought he might be more like Yao Ming in terms of impact. Ming was the only other player taken 1 overall who had never played high school or college hoops.
Pau Gasol is checked in for Noah. Butler on the wing. Back to Brooks. Heinrich dishes to Mirotic. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Robinson. Jack up on top, guarded by Heinrich. No good from Jack.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on him.
Brooks outside. Heinrich outside. He dishes it to Mirotic. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so we will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. And the Nets making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for the Bulls. The Bulls have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games.
And he gets it to go. Bargnani's got 8 points. And here is Brooks. Passes to Dunleavy. And Mirotic has it in the corner. The dish now to Dunleavy. Brooks for 3. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Bulls lead by 18. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. And Chicago has possession. Brown at the 2 with Johnson at the 3. Brook Lopez is out there with Young. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 1 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Nets trail by 18. The feed to Lopez. Brown outside. Shots good from Young. Young's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Nets.
Oh, I love that dish down low.
Outside Rose. He kicks it to Mirotic. Brooks outside. Here's Rose. Brooks a big high bounce and goes in. And the Bulls lead by 18.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Johnson goes in, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And look, Joe Johnson last season, not his best statistically, but boy, did he show some heart. I mean, he was one of the catalysts for Brooklyn making
the playoffs, especially when Brook Lopez returned healthy and the two could play off of one another.
That's good from Johnson. Talking about Joe Johnson, I'm not going to lie. Last year wasn't one of his best statistically, Clark. His shooting accuracy was on the low end. His turnover numbers were high. It wasn't very pretty.
But for Joe, Kevin, I don't think it was about the numbers last year. It was about wanting to compete and to win. And he's developed a champion's will over the years. And I would like to see him finally achieve his goal of maybe winning the championship. I think he deserves it. He's been consistent. He's been solid. And now you see some maturation with him as well.
Mirotic, the screen. And it's Rose penetrating. Excellent use of the screen that time.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Johnson outside. Down low. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Chicago making a switch here. Noah's checked in. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Outside Rose. Got a piece of it. Young with the steal. In transition, here come the Nets. Brown's got the ball. Dishes to Bogdanovich. Johnson against Brooks. The baseline J off the mark. Chicago leading by 18. Rose kicks to Gasol. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Now that's the way it's done. Take it up high and throw it down with everything you've got.
That's right. Clark, he was not going to take the soft approach on that drive.
I would certainly hope not. I mean, you get that kind of opportunity with little resistance from the defense, you got to take it.
Johnson, the pass to Bogdanovich. Fires from deep. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Noah's got 14. Yep, 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. Here's Gasol, and it's Brooks in the corner. Jacks up a three. No good. And Brooklyn will come the other way. Johnson in the corner. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
The shot's good from Gasol.
You know what? That's what you like to see. A perfect pass leading him right into the shot. Didn't even have to break stride.
Bogdanovich dishes to Young. And Bogdanovich kicks to Johnson. Here's Lopez. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Inside, deflects the pass. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Brown outside. Back to Johnson. He feeds it to Lopez. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Well, for one, he hasn't let him down. I mean, but a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good.
Brooks kicks to Rose. Offline with his 3. Nets trail by 20. Johnson outside. Jacks up a 3. And that one's good. Johnson's got 5 points in the quarter.
First 3 of the half. Second of the game. Can he heat up?
Outside Rose. Back to Brooks. Feeds to Gasol. Right wing. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Rose penetrating. Here's Bogdanovich. Elbow shot. And it's Brooklyn scoring again.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
Talking about Pau and brother Mark, both of them were excellent last season. The difference is that Pau has always been considered a great prospect, so detractors are much harder on him when they see cracks, I think, Greg, in his game.
Yeah, you know, for Marc Gasol, it can only exceed expectations because they started out so low. I'd simply say that if I had to pick between one or the other for best career, I'd do everything I could to pick both.
Good way to get out of it. Good answer.
Shooting for Brooklyn.
Brook Lopez, guys, started the season as the starting center for the Nets last year, but it didn't end up that way.
First free throw is good. Lopez ended up coming off the bench for the Nets for a stretch last season. There was a lot of debate, Clark, if that was the right role for him.
Kevin, clearly there were differing opinions because as soon as it happened, every GM called Brooklyn up to see if Lopez was available. Lopez playing well. 8 rebounds and some of his offense coming at the foul line with 5 points there.
Clark, 5 pretty big points indeed.
The pass to Gasol. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Nets trail by 16. Johnson outside. Chicago grabs the miss. 22 is their biggest lead. Gasol kicks it to Noah. Pass to Rose. Puts it up from 12 for 3. Dunleavy. And the rebound goes to Lopez. Lopez has got 8 rebounds in this game. Jack against Rose. And Jack kicks to Brown. Back to Jack. From deep 3-point range, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Chicago. The Bulls leading by 16. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And that one's good.
And that's not the way for a team to get back into a game, giving up open shots like that.
Brooklyn's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. And Young kicks to Lopez. Brown the pass to Johnson. Lopez sets a screen for Johnson. Shot clock at 6. And Johnson missing again. The Bulls have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the 4th and even 50%. Rose dishes to Butler. Back to Rose. No good. Some solid defense from Brown.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Rose with the ball. And Young picks him up defensively. Brown against Butler. Kicks it to Dunleavy. Rose goes in. From down in the low post, it goes. Rose has got 6 here in this quarter.
And he'll take it right into the teeth of the D without thinking twice about it.
Johnson right side. Good, and Jack gets the assist. And that's now 19 points for Johnson.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Rose kicks to Butler. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Nets trail by 18. To the inside. Here's Young. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for 1 more.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
Wayne Ellington's checked in for the Nets.
You know, last season, Thaddeus Young was moved from Minnesota to Brooklyn, guys. A good move for everybody involved as he helped with the playoff push.
Young last year, as you mentioned, GA, shipped to Brooklyn, provided good punch off the bench.
Yeah, and Young is so efficient in his scoring that he's a great guy to play heavy minutes off the bench. Shot over 50% from the floor in his games with the Nets.
And Jack, here we go. The layup missed.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Lopez with the steal. Johnson outside. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Johnson's got 12 points now in the quarter.
And really, the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
Chicago calls timeout. And watching Brook Lopez, he all the time contributes in every category. It's amazing the number of Clark ways he affects the game.
Deadly with the shot. Tremendous touch, back to the basket, moves, facing up, makes free throws, good offensive rebounder, capable passer. He just makes things happen.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
Thank you, Doris. Chicago on defense. 22 is their biggest lead. Jack against Butler. Shot clock at 5. And Jack kicks to Johnson. Here's the 3. Joakim Noah grabs the miss. Noah's got rebound number 19 now. Incredible board work.
And talking about Lopez, he does clean the glass on the offensive end. He was 12th in offensive rebounds last year. However, he was 44th in defensive rebounds. That's one important area he definitely has to work on.
Nets trail by 16. Outside Jack. Again, the miss by Jack.
I can't figure out, guys, what's going on with him this quarter. I mean, he hasn't gotten one shot to drop. You know, getting back to Lopez, how good is it to have a guy with his offensive package also be a near top 10 shot blocker for you? That's what he was last season and several seasons before that. He's an all-star talent if he can just stay on the court and stay healthy.
And he makes the first. He's off on the second. Brooklyn's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. And Jack, here we go. Here's Johnson. A second chance effort, and it's Lopez laying it in. Lopez has got 14 points here in the second half.
They've gotten some good second chances here in the second half, and that kind of extra effort will go a long way into cutting into this deficit.
A nice shot by Gasol.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
And Jack kicks to Johnson. Butler with the steal.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Chicago.
Clark, their shot blocking turned out to give them a big advantage in this game.
Well, they were disciplined and focused, I thought, all game long, Kevin. Excellent defense around the rim.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
Greg, I don't think it'll play out quite that simply, though. The team coming out on the losing end of game 1 is just that much more motivated to get even in game 2 and 3. So I think the edge goes to the losing team.
And as we've come to expect, another big game tonight and an impressive exhibit for Pau Gasol. And with the way he came out energized on the defensive end in particular, getting a hand on a lot of shots, that really got them rolling.
Pass to Gibson, right wing. Here's Heinrich, and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
Boy, that mid-range jumper is a beautiful thing to have in your bag, and they've had it going today.
And some say it's a lost art. but they're getting excellent results with it tonight.
Stolen away. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
You know, he was a non-factor in that first half, but now he's making up for lost time.
Robinson a screen on Brooks. Larkin, the pass to Robinson. Bargnani, good, and the assist goes to Robinson.
And they're on the kind of run that could have made a difference had it just started a little earlier.
Yeah, but I think the only reason they're on this run is because the defense has relaxed a little bit, knowing the game is basically in the bag.
Terrific run to seal the deal.
Yeah, and now let's just keep an eye on how much longer they keep the foot on the accelerator.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. For 3. Larkin can't get it to go. Here's Portis. Ellington defending. Mirotic has a wide open look. No good on the 3. Here's Larkin. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, a nice win for you tonight, Joakim. What was the attitude of the team coming into this game and just in general?
Yeah, we played hard tonight. We're getting better. We just got to keep going. You know, it's a work in progress. And, you know, we just got to keep fighting, and get as many W's as possible.
Congratulations, Joakim. We appreciate it. Guys, over to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And Ernie Johnson is still in the building, folks, for the postgame show. Coming up next,
the 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Pau Gasol. He's racked up a double-double with points and rebounds tonight, and that made the difference. A terrific effort on both sides of the floor.
Well, he showed us just how good he can be when he's at the top of his game. And the building was stunned. You saw people leaving early, throwing popcorn, throwing hot dogs, spilling soda. He put on a CSDP, a crowd shut down performance. Man, that's what I'm talking about, Ernie.
Boy, how many times are we going to see Pau Gasol come out and control a basketball game like he did tonight? This guy who for years has been a mastermind of the low post game. Points, rebounds, assists. You're going to get it all from Pau Gasol on the block, not to mention his veteran leadership.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.